Hello, I'm SnipingIsFun, and basically this time I'm going to be talking about, like I said yesterday, the whole Resident Evil issue, like continuing the whole what I want to see done, what I expect, what would I do, kind of thing I did like a year and a half ago, trying to, like how I would do, I'm not going to do like the continuation of the series, but I'm pretty much going to do the next two games, I'd say. Because they're the ones I really have like more of an idea for than the ones after that. And basically, I'll start with the next one. The next one should be a Wii exclusive. Capcom, you should be doing this. This is the perfect opportunity to bring out a real Resident Evil game. And you did make an exclusive Resident Evil game for the GameCube, so this is the perfect opportunity to do this. And then you can basically, this one should be taking place about a year or two after 5. Let's say the main character should be Rebecca. Let's basically just say the whole entire story. Basically, the best idea of the story I think should be in this game is Rebecca gets word from, Chris about the incidents of 5, that Wesker's now dead, and basically, so his umbrella is gone. And she just moves on for her life. She's like happy that it's finally done. That all the stuff that she pretty much had to go through back since the first game and everything is now gone. She can move on with her life. She goes and decides to go back to wherever go visit her parents. And basically, I don't know where they would live. I really don't know. I can't remember exactly where Rebecca's from or anything, but she decides to go give her parents a visit, and then when she happens to get there, it's kind of like an outbreak happening in the town where they live, the city where they live. Just kind of like, Raccoon City in number 2 and 3, an outbreak happening inside the town, the city. When she gets there, so she's caught up in the middle of it, trying to rescue her parents and all that stuff, and they vanish or something like that. She has to find them. And then basically the villain in this game is kind of like someone who wanted to take on, Wesker's mission. He found out that Wesker died. He was working for him. But he wants to continue the mission, bring back Umbrella, rise Umbrella from the dead, move it along and try to make it like a big corporation to try to take over the world or whatever the mission was. And basically continue that. And then basically that's the whole mission. This is like his first mission, trying to get in there and all that and do what he needs to do. And basically, I think during the game, a good opportunity to bring Billy back and have Rebecca be in danger, and then Billy returns and saves her. And then basically, since they haven't met each other in a while, it's been about let's say 10 years since basically Resident Evil 5 took place in 2008, 2009, and Resident Evil 0 took place in 1998. It's been almost 10 years or so. Around 10 years. They probably haven't seen each other since then, since supposedly, Billy goes into hiding. He disappears after 0. Basically, he's been, moving around, keeping his head, keeping his identity a secret, moving along with his life, just trying to hide, moving from place to place and everything. His clothes are all wrecked up. He has a beard and long hair. He just really hasn't been able a chance to shave or anything. And basically, the entire mission is about, Rebecca rescues her parents, and they take on the guy that works for Wesker that's continuing his mission. At the end, he's the final boss. And then basically, he turns himself into a monster, injects himself with a virus or something, trying to fight him. He dies and technically fails Wesker, and that's basically where that happens. And then the one after that, Resident Evil 6 would be a Wii, PS4, 360 game, or a Wii 2, PS4, Xbox 720. It has to be all 3 systems. They can't just forget the Nintendo this time or anything. The next generation, whatever the names of the systems are called. And I would make the main characters Leon and Claire. And basically, they've been hearing that Umbrella's trying to rise up. People are trying to bring back Umbrella again, so other people, and they're building up this corporational building somewhere. And so Leon, Claire, and a group of about 10 soldiers or so infiltrate this building, trying to find out what's going on. basically infiltrate this building, trying to find out what's going on, who's behind all of this, and then basically they find Ada in there. Before that, most of the soldiers get killed off. Maybe a few of them will survive. They all get separated during the game. You'd find them all and try to save them and whatnot. But they find Ada in this building. I think Ada's all behind it. Leon runs after her, basically tries to find out what's going on because he pretty much likes her and whatnot. But then, and as they're going on, they find Sherry as well, and then Claire is all surprised. She doesn't know who it is at first, but she kind of finds out it's Sherry since she hasn't seen Sherry in a while. Around this time, Sherry would be like 20 years old or something. Last time she met her was like some 8-9-year-old kid in Raccoon City. Unless they met each other after that, I don't know if they did. I don't think they ever said anything about that. They may have not. But what I think would happen is after Resident Evil 2, about 3, 4, 5 years after, I think Wesker would have captured Sherry, and then basically he kind of trains her to be a successor, and kind of like tests out the viruses on her, trains her, kind of like warps her mind and trying to want to work for him and move basically succeed where he is. But then Wesker dies, basically 5, and they think it's basically Ada helped them to train her. And then basically later on you move on, they find out that they actually revived Wesker. They kind of took like a sample of him, like either before, like they had a sample of him, or they got a sample from the lava when he died in 5, and they bring him back, and he's not fully human. I think he'd be kind of like not the Silver Surfer, he's kind of like a silver version of like Wesker that he can kind of change like his form, kind of like Carnage from Spider-Man and all that. He kind of change his form and everything. Basically, he's kind of not like a tyrant or anything or nemesis or anything, but he's kind of like a mix, like a super kind of like he has viruses inside, like the T virus, and every virus kind of powered him up. And since he was pretty much all dead, he couldn't have a human body, so he kind of technically got like the silver version of himself, kind of thing. And he's back, and then basically, this game basically would be more about like Leon and Claire. Like you basically can play as either or, and both of their stories are slightly different. Leon's story is more about Ada. Basically, Claire's story is more about Sherry, and then basically if you play Leon's story, you have to fight Ada a couple times. If you play as Claire, you're gonna have to try to take on Sherry once or twice in zombies with her because it wouldn't be only her fighting you. And basically, after you basically after Ada loses, she doesn't want to really fight Leon anymore, but basically Wesker forces her to, kind of inject her with a virus, kind of controlling her in a way. So she fights him, basically slightly being under control and everything. She's under control, and she doesn't really want to fight him. And then basically Leon fights her. He doesn't want to kill her, but she ends up dying anyways. So he kind of cries over her death. I think that should be a good way of killing her off. Basically have Leon accidentally kill her, or she dies normally or something by their fight, or the virus gets to her after she gets hurt so much from the battle with Leon, she dies. He cries over her dead body because that would happen, and basically that's it. And then during Claire's part of the story, she tries to speak to Sherry, trying to get her, and she kind of starts getting Sherry, to be try to fight being mind controlled or so, being trained by Wesker, but it doesn't really happen so much. It doesn't really work. But then she runs off, and then basically at the end of the game, Leon gets to Wesker first, fights him, then Claire gets there at the second. So basically, if you play as Leon, you get to Wesker first. Basically, you get to him sooner than you get as Claire. And then Wesker would kill Leon. Sorry, you Leon fans, but I think that'd be a good way of doing the story. Claire fights him, beats him. Sherry shows up. He's in danger. He tries to ask her for help. She just ignores him. A helicopter comes in. This businessman's on there. She says she's betraying him. She gets out a rocket launcher, destroys him. She's trying to destroy the helicopter. She flies off. Claire's trying to get her attention, but she flies off. Game ends, and basically that's what I think. That's what I would have happen. But knowing Capcom, they're probably gonna change something up. Supposedly they're doing something different. So basically that's it. That's my opinion. I'm SnipingIsFun. See you guys later.